Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys tips and tricks on the Traxxas Haas / Rustler and Stampede. So let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to be giving you tips that are free to maintain your car, and then I'll be moving to the tips that cost money. Okay, so number one, you should rotate your tires. That'll prolong the life of all of your tires. And, oh yes, I forgot to mention, this is for 4x4s only. But some of these do apply to any RC car in existence. But some of these might apply to the two-wheel drive, and some of them apply to every single car that's not even a Traxxas. Number two, set endpoint adjustments on your RC car. What that means is, if you steer too much one way, and it sounds like the servo is straining when you take it off the ground, it's going like, it's like a distinct humming sound that a servo makes. If it's doing that when the tires are off the ground and you're all the way turned, you need to fix that. You need to set the endpoint adjustments. And do not keep the shocks too tight. My good buddy Randy, his shocks are way too tight, so whenever you set it down, look at this. There's no shock anymore. So his shocks are ruined. He's gonna have to get some new shocks, I think. And do not keep the slipper clutch fully tightened. The Haas does not have a slipper clutch. Only the Rustler / and Stampede have the slipper clutch. What I do is you tighten it all the way to where it can't be tightened anymore. I usually loosen it 1 or 1.5 full turns. And tighten screws that are backing out. That's very important, because if you're going driving with your buddies and they're all having a good time and you forgot to check your screws and like an A-arm breaks, I mean, you're just gonna be sitting on the sidelines having no fun. I did get that from a YouTube channel called Outsourced RC, and I watched him a lot. He's good. I recommend that you watch him. Okay, so now I'm gonna be talking about how these cars are not waterproof, even though the box says they are. When I first got my Rustler 4x4 VXL, it said it was waterproof, and like, no way. So I went up, hosed it off, let the water puddle up in there for like 90 years, and then I broke my ESC and my motor, which is expensive. I got that replaced. I have no original electronics in this anymore, because they didn't know how to take care of it. And after you go driving in the water, make sure you dry off all of your metal parts and even your plastic parts. For 2 reasons. 1, you don't want the metal to rust. Number 2, I let some dirt puddle up on my RC car, on the plastic, and it's stained forever. I can't get it out. So now whenever you store your RC cars, store them off the tires, because if you store the car on their tires for, a while, you can keep it in your garage, just keep it on the tires. It's really bad for it, because you have the foam inserts inside here and they'll get worked. That's what happened to my buddy Randy's car. Again, whenever I put this on like a 3S LiPo, tires are going, they're not balanced. And now to batteries, when you're storing your RC car and you're not gonna use it for more than 3 days, put your batteries on the store mode, or else battery's just not gonna last as long and it'll break. And the last free tip that I have for you guys is organize your RC car parts. I'll show you what I did. So for my 2-wheel drive Rustler, I have a 2-wheel drive Rustler box, and I have all of my parts in here. I got all of my Traxxas spur gears and stuff all inside there. It's packed full of stuff, and it's so easy instead of digging through a ton of parts. I keep my tools all in the box. And then for my 4x4 Rustler, I have everything inside this box. I can see all of my parts from the top. I got my spur gears, I got my wheel nuts, I got my diff gears. It's kind of messy right now, I just had to use it, but it works great. This is how I organize my screws and my bearings. I have the smallest screws right here with the button head, and then I have the smallest screws here with like the bottle cap head, I think that's what it's called. And then I got the thicker screws with the button head, and I got my thicker screws with the bottle cap head, and then I have the little cone-shaped ones. Then I have my bearings in here. I don't know why I have bushings in there. And then I have all my wheel nuts. And I recommend you do this because it works great. Now I'm gonna move on to all the tips that do cost a little bit of money, but they really do help. Tip number 1, get heatsink on your motor. I'm not sure if they make a heatsink for the Haas because the motor's a different shape, but for the Slash and Rustler, the heatsink works great. You don't have to worry about it on a 2S LiPo or a nickel metal hydride. But on a 3S LiPo, that's when you start to need it. I recommend you do that. I'm not sure how much the fan helps, so I didn't put that as one of my recommendations. The metal steering linkage, I've talked about this in my other videos. So I got a little blue steering linkage inside here. And it has, see that little spring in there? It's adjustable. That's one of the main reasons why I like this servo saver. But the one that the car comes with is plastic. And that's really hard to see. You can kind of see the spring in there, and it's not adjustable. And now this is a tip that I really think would help you. Use Simple Green to clean off your RC cars. This works amazing. And then after you're done using the simple green, you get an air compressor or like a compressed air can, dry everything off. My little Traxxas right here, I simple greened it and it looks like brand new. I mean, it's kind of scuffed up still, but it's basically brand new. If you're going in the water and mud with your RC car, tape up your tires, or just have a bad set of tires that you don't mind getting ruined, because if water gets inside your tire, well, the foam is like a sponge, water is, like water, and when they mix, they don't really separate and it creates mold. They start to stink and your tires will be all lopsided and just not want to work. And your tires will just like bubble up and down. You won't be able to go in like straight lines or anything, and you'll just break parts and stuff. And if you see your tires start to separate, glue them up as fast as possible, because if you don't glue them up, bad things will happen. One time my tire like ripped, like 1/3 of it just like ripped off. My brother was doing a speed run with me. We were doing wheelies and stuff, having a lot of fun, and the tire just went so glue up your tires, please. That'll save you a lot of money. Tires are not cheap. Every once in a while, I'll clean out your bearings and WD-40 them. It'll make them run smooth, and I think it'll prolong the life of your bearings. And super glue screws that go onto plastic and Loctite screws that go onto metal. Because if you put Loctite on screws that go into plastic, it'll eat away at the plastic. Loctite on metal to metal is great, but if you have screws that are backing out that go on plastic, like I said, use super glue. Well, there you have it. That's all of my tips and tricks for your Traxxas Rustler, Haas, Slash, and Stampede. So yeah, go subscribe to them. Now, as I always do, I'm gonna wind down my video by talking about God. Okay, so I said this last video, but I did not say it very well. There's an RC car that I want, the E-Revo 1/16 scale VXL. The reason why is I love the E-Revo a lot, the big one. I love the cantilever suspension. I love how controllable it is at high speeds. Obviously that's expensive and I can't really afford that. I'm like, the mini one could probably be close enough to that. So I was pretty sure I was gonna get that, and I still am. I think I'm still gonna get it. But then I read this verse in the Bible, and it says, the eyes of man are never satisfied. That got me thinking, this E-Revo 1/16 scale is not gonna satisfy me forever. It'll satisfy me for maybe a little bit, and then I'll see maybe like the new car that comes on the market and be like, oh my goodness, I want that car so bad. And this doesn't just go for RC cars, like iPhones, actual cars, anything, goes for anything. So just know that the thing that you think will satisfy you will not satisfy you. But there is one thing that will satisfy, and that is Jesus Christ. He gives you peace that surpasses all understanding. I don't know how to explain it, but Jesus Christ satisfies every need that I have. And that's the part that I left out in the last video. I just left it out as nothing will satisfy you. And then I realized I was talking about God and I forgot to talk about God. So there's only one way. That way is Jesus, and Jesus satisfies. There we go. And also, shout outs. Ranger Randy, he's posting a YouTube video right now as I speak. Ranger Randy 3, but Ranger Randy, it's not gonna work. It'll take you to a random channel. Ranger Randy 3, it's like the YouTube circle. Mine's like an RC car. His is a kangaroo, all animated. It's great. Go check out his channel. Go subscribe to him. And Levi Tab. Go subscribe to Levi Tab. Capital L, capital T. Oh, and also one more thing. This is so embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Last video. It is so cringy. The video itself was great, but there was 3 races, or at least supposed to be 3 races at the end, and a few of them we jumped the gun. Those should not have counted as races, and they did not count as races, but I accidentally added one of the races in. So we did 3 races, and like, okay guys, we're about to do the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was the 4th race. I'm good at math. That's at least what it looks like. That was really embarrassing. I realized that like 2 days ago, and the video's been out for a while. Do not think that I'm like one of those math geniuses, okay? It was just an editing error, okay? Thank you guys for watching this YouTube video. Share with your friends, and if you're not subscribed already, check to see if you are subscribed, because I was looking at some of my videos and only like 20% of the people who are watching my videos are subscribed, so that other 90% just subscribe. And if you're wondering, yes, that was a joke. Alright, see you later guys.